There doesn't seem to be any way to take this video without getting some kind of weird shadow on my face. So yesterday I did jumper. I got her all sheared up, and it's really hard to hold a camera and hold a sheep down and shear at the same time and hold children off and lambs. So what I would recommend is to go on YouTube or go to High Desert Fiberworks. That's one of the giant German Angora rabbits that I bought. That's where I got him from. And her videos on shearing are excellent, because with an Angora, unless you have special hooty-dooty fancy clippers, you just use scissors. And the way that you do it is that you take long, thin cuts instead of cuts that go in where you can't see your blades. You always, when you go in sideways for a very thin cut, and you need to be able to see your blade. If you can't see gray through the wool, then your cut is too thick, because you need to see the blade so that you know you're not nicking them. And I did nick jumper maybe once or twice, but that's not too bad for such a big animal and so much wool. And I think it took me about an hour to get done. If my husband had been home to help me, it probably would have taken longer, because we would have just done it longer. But because it's just me, I have to get it done quickly. The thing is also with the thin long cuts is that you don't get a lot of seconds. Seconds are where you cut once and then you didn't get it short enough, so you go back and cut again. So you have this tiny little stub of wool and then a longer piece of wool all in the same spot. And those seconds make your spinning really, really messy. It's kind of a nasty. If you were selling your wool, you wouldn't get a good price for it because of those second cuts. So that's what I would do. The shears, if you buy the electric shears, I think the lowest that you can get good shears that'll actually do sheep's wool, it's like $350. I don't know how much it is for the professional shears, that like the guys that go out and shear 50 sheep at a time. I don't know how much those are. The shears that I got them at Cal stores. Cost me $16 for them, and I sheared a sheep like 6 times with them, and I haven't had to resharpen them. They work really well. And anyway, that's how I do it. I've actually been dreading doing it all year, because last time I had a friend come help me and it took us forever and a day. It just took forever last time. This time I was really happy that it didn't take very long. I got better at, if I'm near her back, I just lay down on top of her. If I'm near her feet, I just lift her feet up, and eventually she just lay down and relaxed and she was fine. But last time I did not have, sorry, it sounded like a chicken for a second. I didn't have, what was I saying? I didn't have as many restraints on her last time. This time I used all 3 hobbles, hobbled the front to the back on both sides, and then hobbled those together also. So there was no way she was getting up. I don't like to shear them right after they have babies, because regularly with shearing you stand them on their butt first, and so with their head up in your chest and them on their butt. It's impossible for me to do it that way. It's just too hard. I also prefer a sheep that has a bare face and bare legs, because the face and the head and the legs don't have desirable wool on it anyway. It's short and crinkly and dirty usually. So I prefer clean legs, clean face. And then because she peed and pooped in the wool, I'm gonna take a couple days before I wash it, just to give myself a break, and then I might wash it in the duck pool this time first before I bring it in the house to wash it again. It just kind of depends on how I'm feeling. Usually I just wash it in the bathtub, and it takes like 12 or 15 washes. It takes a long time, because they've been out in the weather in this wool for a year now, and it's collected a lot of dirt and dust and not as much straw as last year. And actually I think it is quite a bit cleaner than it was last year. Anyway, that's what I do in the summer. I might just actually leave it how it is and not do anything with it until winter, because working with the wool is more of an indoor winter thing, not a summer thing. Summer, I'm just trying to get her out of her coat so that she's not so hot.